I'm continuing with the difficult theme of violence, of domestic violence and home. On this time of the year, I wish I could tell you that domestic violence is 90% emotional and rarely physical. 1% of the emotionally and verbally violent shows on TV ever was The Roseanne Show. It was labeled as a comedy, but altered the style of speech in the United States and of 3 generations of every English-speaking country, and the method of interactions between all persons to be biased as disrespectful, thus increasing the anger and hate quotient in the very core structure of the US society, of New Zealand, Australia, and parts of British society, due to the change in the nuclear family. And it's coming back, so more children can learn to be abusive early, all over again. It is coming back again, so that the immigrant populations and refugees can now understand sufficient English, know and understand insults and disrespect. I wish I could tell you that domestic violence happens everywhere, in every demographic, every income, every education level, and every type of home. Being the victim is something you can change. Choose to be a survivor instead. There are many here to help you and assist you. October is the month when more women are killed by their partners than any other month in the year. October, so many women are killed in the English-speaking countries of the world that it outnumbers those killed in war. Because school started, the women have a few hours to try to get away before having to worry about the kids. They plan their escapes and then effect that plan as soon as the children arrive home from school. But then he can catch them too. If you find anger overwhelming your reason, get help. If you ever start to raise your hand but still do nothing, get help. If you ever see terror in the eyes of your wife or any of your children, if you see them cowering back, if you see them turning their face, get help. For your anger becomes the motivating factor for everything that occurs in your house. If you find that when you get drunk, you get angry, get help. If you hear a fight, as in a neighbor, as in somebody walking by and hearing the yelling, the screaming, because the scream of pain, the scream of terror of a child is nothing like the joyful shouts, the scream of joy. The scream of terror is higher pitched, and you can feel the terror when the hair on the back of your neck stands up. We are physiologically tied to one another. When you hear the scream of a young girl, you know when it's fear. You know when a woman is screaming for her life, because your whole body alerts to it. You can later say, oh, it's probably nothing. But you will remember that scream. That scream that activated every cell of your body to run. For your parasympathetic nervous system activated to fight or flight. Not because she was yelling or screaming in joy or in ecstasy, but because That was probably her last air of breath as she died. I have worked crime scenes of domestic murder. I was a forensic technician for almost 10 full years. And the number of times I had neighbours say, "We heard her screams, but we'd been hearing them for so long, we didn't think anything of it." They should have been charged as perverting the cause of justice, as co-conspirators in the act of domestic murder. For they were part and parcel of her murder, and of those children becoming orphans. Do not participate in someone else's act of domestic violence. Call it into 911 or 999 or whatever your country's number is, and then turn on the recorder on your phone so that the police can hear everything you hear. If there's multiples of you there, one person records while the other person dials the police. That way, when they come, they can hear what you are hearing. Because otherwise, when the police come, "Oh no, nothing's wrong. No, it's good, please leave." Because she can't talk while he's there. And rarely do the police ever pull him far enough away that she can say, "Look what he's done to my breasts." And they can, if she has a chance to lift up her shirt, you can see where he was trying to rip the breasts from her body. You can see the hand grips on her upper arm as he tried, but failed, to dislocate both of her arms so she couldn't fight back. Yes, these are from crime scenes that I worked as we prepared her body for transport and for the post-mortem. You never forget seeing the fingerprints in bruised blood under the skin, because the bruises start to form immediately. And then once the body stops heart beating, yes, the bruises stop forming, but the tactile imprint of the hand on the body continues to form for 48 hours after death. We just turn off the lights and use the independent light source. Not anything like that comedy CSI, which, by the way, is coming back, so all of us from the team are getting together to laugh hysterically at it. Everything in that job was heartrending. But the mothers would do anything to protect those children. She would allow him to beat her to death, so he'd be too tired to hurt the children. Think on that. And be ready always to call the emergency number and beg the police to come before he killed her this time. And then start recording. I wish I could tell you I never attended a death of a woman by her partner during October. But in 10 years, I attended over 227 fatalities of women by their partners in October alone.